Hello, this is Kevin Swinson. I'm with the Educational Retirement Board. Today we're going to talk about the LAU Advisory Group and our ERB School Reporting Town Hall meeting. Melissa McFall is our compliance advisor here at ERB. Selena Herrera is our school reporting supervisor. My name is Kevin Swinson. I'm the Chief Information Officer. Today, we're going to talk about some questions and answers about our new pension administration system and how it will affect our LAUs. This is a re-recording of a presentation we gave on October 8th, 2024 to our LAU user acceptance testing community, who's going to help us test our new pension administration system. Today, we're going to look at our pension administration system project at a 30,000-foot view. ERB and LAU involved in this project. We're going to talk about the view that each stakeholder will have and what we'll be asking them to do. The LAUs are going to help us stand up our new platform and make sure it meets the needs of their organizations as well as all of our members. I like the idea of a 30,000-foot view looking down on the world where it can't hurt us or anything. Balloon Fiesta was just last month, and I like this idea of we're maybe 300 feet instead of 30,000, but the concept is still the same. We've been talking about our new pension administration system, and we're talking about moving from our old house to the new house. Our old house is our pension administration system we currently drive, and that's called VITEC. We're moving to a new pension administration system called Ariel by a company called TELUS. NMERB has been working towards this for some time now. We did a business process improvement plan looking for a new pension administration system that can help modernize how pensions are done, deliver some of the best practices in pension systems today, as well as high-level security that comes with new platforms that are being built these days. A lot of our goals was really to stay kind of middle of the road. We wanted to go a commercial off-the-shelf system. This is called a COTS solution. We wanted to make sure it included automated processing that would lessen manual work for our staff. We were also making sure that the correspondence and how we engage with the members is also easier. And we wanted a system that can be accessed by employers and employees and give them self-enrollment and kind of kiosk-based self-serve features. Oops, sorry. We are on time for this project right now. This is a 4-year project. We're about 15 months in, and we will be going live around November of 2026. Why are we doing this? Educational Retirement Board exists to serve our members and LAUs. Our members are why we're here. This is exactly why we're here to do. Our stakeholders on this project are everybody who is part of the educational system in New Mexico, everybody from a university president to a lunch lady in a cafeteria. These are all of our members, folks that help educate folks in New Mexico. Now, the LAUs are also our members because they're part of that educational community. So we're going to have different portals, a portal for the members, but we also have a portal for our local administrative units, the LAUs, and we're going to be working with both groups as we onboard our new pension administration system. ERB reports to a board of trustees. The pension administration project reports to our change management committee. We did a procurement and we onboarded TELUS Health. They are the folks that are bringing us the product Ariel, which is our new pension administration system. MBS, Managed Business Solutions, is doing our data cleanup and data cleansing from our VITEC data, our VITEC system, so we can populate our aerial system with the same data. So again, we're going from our old house to the new house, but from an accounting perspective, everything has to match up down to the penny to make sure we continue to pay out our members' retirement in a accurate, timely, and fiduciary manner. NTT is our independent validation and verification service, and Siegel is our project management office. And we're also working closely with Department of IT, Department of Finance, and SHARE with New Mexico, state of New Mexico. LAUs are stakeholders for the PAS project. If I look at myself and I look where I went to elementary school, middle school, junior high, and college, these are all in the state of New Mexico, and that only accounts for 2 LAUs. So realize that ERB interacts with over 200 LAUs, and we're looking forward to doing this project with you guys and for you guys. Educators and school staff are all stakeholders. Uh, our new pension administration system will interact with all stakeholders. And where we are now in the project is something called user acceptance testing. User acceptance testing is the final testing stage in software development before moving to production. It's used to get feedback from users who test the software and who will be using its user interface. User acceptance testing is usually done manually, with users creating real-world situations and testing how the software reacts and performs. Test case scenarios can also be automated, simulating a user experience. As its name suggests, user acceptance testing is used to determine if end user accepts the software before it's made public. Client and business requirements determine whether it fulfills the expectation originally set in its development. So this is where we are now. And what we're doing is we're working with 19 different LAUs who have agreed to help us with user acceptance testing. We have 5 additional LAUs to assist us if those first 19 are unable to help us. So that's kind of our backup group. And also because LAUs are members as well, because they are educators, we're looking for some of the folks in our LAU user acceptance testing community to help us test as members when we start driving our member portal for user acceptance testing. We need your help. We look forward to working with you, and let's see what that's going to look like. We want your feedback. We want to make this a better, more efficient pension administration system. We want to include you in the process. We value your opinion and your feedback. ERB will host meetings for the LAU UAT test team. This presentation is one of the kickoffs to that whole process. We will be giving full transparency, and currently we're on track, on time, and on budget. ERB will work with the LAU UAT testing teams to confirm a more efficient workflow and processes, and LAU should also experience more efficient onboarding of staff. So when we look at our current pension administration system, VITEC, that's the one on the left, the new one is on the right. And if you look at them, they kind of do the same things. They're very similar. They both have e-billing. They both allow the LAUs to process their HR and their payroll file. They both help members and LAUs keep track of those that are actively working and retired. What is going to be new is LAUs will get their own portal in the future, and all of our billing will now be done via invoicing, where we'll be able to send an invoice to an LAU and they'll be able to pay that invoice. And these are additional features that our current system does not have. So we're looking forward to some of these features and working with our LAUs to test drive some of these new features. So currently, LAU interaction with VITEC, our current pension administration system, is primarily a manual process. When we're on the new TELUS aerial platform, we're going to benefit from reduced feedback loop. So a feedback loop is designed to minimize the time to resolve errors and workflows that would result in delays down the line. So currently, if we send something to a member or to an LAU, and it takes 3 to 4 to 5 weeks to complete that process because there might have been some validation errors, there might have been a couple mistakes that needed to be corrected, that current feedback loop could be 4 or 5 weeks. In our new platform, the system is more intuitive. It can highlight any validation errors or problems immediately, letting the LAUs resolve those issues in a timely manner. And this will greatly reduce feedback loops, in some cases, from weeks down to days. And we think this will help our LAUs and our member community. Uh, we're also going to be doing our user acceptance testing to review the processes and make sure that these can be done in real time, that any issues can be resolved sooner, and the overall process can be improved. So all of these feedback loops, how we drive these systems are under review. We want to use our user acceptance testing as a way to validate that this new platform is working as we want it to. And we want to use these feedback loops to confirm with LAUs and our member community that what we're giving you is an improvement over our current system. I'm going to give you some high-level basics of some of our new LAU portal features. This is a demo portal. The exact look and feel might be different, but these are some of the features that our new portal for the LAUs will have. LAUs will be able to log in, search for members. They will be able to upload the wage report and the member detail report. And when they do so, they'll have a couple different ways to do it. They can do it via an Excel spreadsheet, or they can drive the portal, manually enter a member one at a time. So there's different ways to interface with this. And what's nice about it, in this case, we're uploading a file called member detail. And as they do that, uh, we have spreadsheets we currently use. And some of these spreadsheets, as we work with the LAUs, we're going to work with them to make sure that the format of the spreadsheet that they're submitting to us works with our new pension administration system. Generally, we have a wage report, we have an HR report, and there might be one or two tweaks to these spreadsheets, but very minor. And I think in many cases, the spreadsheets or the wage reports and HR reports you guys are giving to us now may work in their existing format. This is exactly one of the reasons we're doing our user acceptance testing with the LAU teams, is to ensure that all the files that get processed back and forth work nicely in our new platform before we actually stand up the system. So in this case, here is a case where a member detail record was opened and submitted by an LAU. And what they get immediately is a report. So in this case, maybe they submitted 4 or 5 members, and one of the members had some issues. The social security number that was submitted didn't have a length of 9 digits. The employer code might have been wrong, or maybe the country code was wrong, or the member should have been listed as active and now they're listed as terminated. So these are all things that our new system will be able to trap for. And what we're going to look at is you'll have better real-time validation checks, allowing us to reduce those feedback loops of how to correct member inaccuracies or typos as we're helping our members process all of their retirement details. So user acceptance testing steps. We determine an approach. We determine which departments are going to be driving which parts of our system. So we know that ERB ourselves, we have an administrative portal that we drive, and we know that the member has a portal they can drive, and we know the LAUs have a portal they can drive. So what we're doing is we're getting folks to test drive each of our new portals as the users of those systems, so we can test various things about our new platform. At the end of our testing for user acceptance testing, we declare go or no go. We will be not we will not be going live on our platform until we have passed all testing and we're sure it's going to work for all of our members. So as we're doing our testing, I'm going to bring up a couple concepts, and I like to call them hats and clones. For the example I just gave of ERB staff driving our administrative portal, we might have a hat that we put on for processing a request for retirement. That might have several different steps of approval. So the first person wearing the hat might be okay to submit that application for retirement, but somebody else might need to approve that. Somebody else might need to review that. And then there might be a third or fourth quality or accounting check down the road. So we're testing our system, putting on these different hats so we can test that our system drives appropriately. There's a concept in IT called principle of least privilege. You only give each person driving the system the access that they need just to do their job. You don't let everybody drive an administrator. So we have separation of controls, separation of duties. You never want the fox guarding the hen house. These different hats of access control is one way we can test our system and confirm that's in place. The other thing I like to look at is putting on different hats of how you think about the portal and our pension administration system. There's going to be some new bells, some new whistles, but we're really wanting to make sure it meets the needs of our members. So I want us to look at things different ways, objectively, overly positive, overly negative, creatively, broadly. This is the first time we're looking at this system, and we have time to make some changes and minor tweaks to best suit our membership. And these are great ways to think about it. So clones is the other thing. In Vitech, we have all of our members, and TELUS is going to be the system that replaces Vitech. We wanted to make sure that if this member, John Smith, is in Vitech, we can use the exact same member here in TELUS. We've neutered the data, we've de-identified it. So this John Smith might be James Brown over here, but if I total up all of their retirement, it's the same exact data records. Therefore, we have the ability to test in our existing system what that migrated member looks like in the new system, and we can confirm piece by piece exactly that that member's data was cleansed, copied over, stood up, and matches exactly what it is now in our current platform. So as we do testing, I know that John Smith turned into James Brown, but through the use of IT and clones, they're now giving me 30 James Browns to test with. So I can now do different things with each of the iterations of these clones, where I can do testing in a structured way, and each tester has their own set of test members to test with. And this helps us best verify that the system is working. And if we screw something up while we're testing, we can just grab the next clone and do that test again, saving some time. So now we're going to talk about forms and documents. On the screen are some examples of forms we currently use. These are generally on paper, and these are going to be digitized where members or LAUs can fill these out from their new portals. Some of these paper forms will be retired because we no longer need them. We're going to be doing a couple things. Once a member is logged into their new portal, or an LAU is logged into that portal, those access into those portals used multi-factor authentication and really helped us confirm that the member is who they say they are. So once they are in our portal securely, and they acknowledge something, that is kind of equivalent to what used to be the wet signature on a piece of paper form. So we're moving away from some of the legacy paper forms that we used to use. We're digitizing these, and this will also save steps because somebody filling out the form, then somebody has to type in what was on the form into the computer. We can go straight to the computer. We will still be letting any of the LAUs use these forms, even if we stop using them and you feel you need them and you want to keep using them, that's not a problem for us at all. But this project will discuss how forms and documents are used and which ones go away and why. So next steps. ERB LAU support team will be working with the LAU UAT teams. Primary and backup LAU user acceptance teams are welcome to participate in this whole process. Again, we'll give you full transparency. We really want your opinion, and we'd love to have these discussions with you. Any of the backup LAU UAT teams willing to assist with member user acceptance testing would be greatly appreciated by ERB. And ERB LAUs will follow an LAU communication plan that talks you through at what times during the year we want to engage you with the testing, giving you access to different videos and testing information. And that communication plan is also a roadmap for how we go to stand up our new portal. This concludes our town hall meeting for LAUs. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.